Hi everyone, I'm Vasja, one of the co-founders of Viberate, and today I'll showcase you our newly launched analytics platform, uh, and I'll finish up with our view of how to implement blockchain into the music sector. The analytics platform right now doesn't have a lot to do with blockchain. We took the time during the crypto bear market to build our database, to program our um, algorithms, and we've been out since last 2 weeks, something like that. So this is completely fresh, and you're going to be among the first people to see it. So I'll just get straight to the point. We analyze on popularity for almost 500,000 musicians. We like to say that we analyze it for every musician in the world, because if you don't find the artist in a database, you can add them, and then we're gonna start analyzing them. So this is the chart. This is the default chart from number 1 to number 500,000. And the default ranking is by Viberate popularity. You can use any kind of other metric and rank the artist according to this metric. And you can also use filters. So if we want to see Slovenia, you can do that. So those are the most popular musicians in Slovenia based on our metrics. And you can also go further down, say electronic music in Slovenia. Those are the best electronic music artists in Slovenia. And now let's do a quick check of our co-founder's profile. So Umik is one of the co-founders of Viberate, and this is his analytics dashboard. So those are his basic information, and then we analyze every musician in 3 pillars. So social media performance, music channel performance, we're looking into streaming services, and network respect, which is something that we came up with, and here we're analyzing how artists are following each other. So we can go and analyze millions of followers of every artist, and we can single out those followers that are also musicians that we have in our database. And this measures the artist's respect within their community of artists. So if you're a musician and you get followed by a big superstar, that means that you got recognized. I'll just do now a quick flyby of the whole analytics platform. You can try it for free if you register on Viberate, or just shoot me an email. I'll get you a demo account. This is the 12-month timeline with different milestones, different interesting pieces of content that performed exceptionally well. Followed by fan base distribution and fan base growth. Here we're looking into the number of followers across all major channels, plus the follower growth. So weekly 7-day growth of followers. This tells you a lot about the trends. If you want to analyze trends further, you can check the growth 1 month, 3 months, or 12 months. Then we compare the fan base versus the engagement, because everyone wants to have an engaged audience. So you want to have a big blue part of the chart. That means that the audience is picking up the content you're putting online as an artist. So they're liking it, they're playing your tracks, they're sharing your stuff. And this is always good to have such an engaged audience. So in case an artist would buy fake followers, they would only have the red part of the chart, but almost no blue part, because fake followers don't interact with the content. And then we have the engagement in detail, again, across 12 months. The audience map looks into YouTube and Spotify listeners, and it tells you where the fans are coming from. So if you're a promoter, you can check if the artist you're analyzing is popular in the country, and if they are, you can simply book them, and they're most likely going to sell out the event. The events overview is matching the events with our venue database. We also have over 150,000 venues, and for them we know the average crowd size, so their cap, the type of the venue, and the location. So for each artist, we know what's the average crowd size. So if you're a promoter, again, based on the size of your club, you can figure out which artist fits you. Then we have top live performances. Those are the biggest event that the artist has performed in the last 2 years. Artist connections is what I was explaining before. So here we're looking into how artists are following each other. So how many of them, what their prevailing genre, where they come from, and we can also identify them and see how they're following each other in different social media here. You can just scroll down. Music chart appearances, as the name says, it analyzes charts on all those channels here. YouTube and Shazam overview is tracking plays in Shazam over 3 different periods, so 7 days, 30 days, and all time. And then finally, Twitter and Instagram content performance. We're displaying the best performing content from 90 days, and we're monitoring the engagement of the artist, and we're comparing it with the industry average. So in terms of, in case of Umek, we're comparing him with other artists that have anywhere from 50 to 200,000 followers on Instagram. And then if you want to discover, so this is a profile of a single artist, but if you want to go on a macro level, you can also check country stats. So those are all artists in Slovenia, and stats for the entire country. So you can look which genres are popular, what kind of festivals and events usually take place in Slovenia. And maybe this is something interesting. So we can clearly see from the trend line that monitors the events within different genres, we can see when the pandemic struck and events got banned. So there were almost no events since March. If you're a label or an agent, if you're in a hunt for new artists, new interesting artists to sign up to your company, this is something that you want to look at. So those are top. Sorry, those are top performing artists. So this is not, ignore what I just said. Those are top performing artists. So those are artists that were playing in Slovenia lately and are ranking high on our charts. The thing that I was mentioning was rising artists. So this is this section here. You can also go check. So this was country stats. You can also check the genre stats. So those are electronic music artists that we have in our database. Most of them come from the US, followed by Germany, Netherlands, and you can check some detailed stats here. So which cities they're coming from. And here we're measuring artists and festivals within the electronic music genre. The thing I mentioned before, so if you're in a hunt for new talents to sign up to your agency, or if you're a promoter, if you want to organize events, you want to book artists that are not superstars yet, but they're rising, this is something that you want to pay attention to, because here we're measuring trending artists that are not already huge artists with tracks on Billboard charts and stuff like that. You can still get them cheap, and you want to get them before others do. So yeah, the genre stats also analyze where does it pay off to advertise, or which social media performs the best within this genre, which artists are doing the best on different channels, and where which channel has the most lively audience. So in terms of electronic music, we can see that listeners on Spotify and YouTube are the most engaged audience, so almost no engagement on Twitter. So this is roughly it. This is what we have now, and we are adding playlist analysis, airplay analysis, and we're gonna have a dedicated Beatport charts just for electronic music artists. Now I wanna tell you a little bit about blockchain. So we did our ICO on the peak of the hype in 2017, and we used our token to reward fans, because the entire database is built with the help of fans. And we all know that right now the hottest thing in crypto is farming. So people have to stake tokens to farm other tokens. But we did kind of a similar thing back in 2017, where instead of staking tokens, you were working on the platform to get VIP tokens. So this is our native token. So if you were adding events, or if you're adding new profiles into the database, you were earning VIP tokens. And now we are thinking about integrating something different. So we're looking into how to integrate NFTs, so non-fungible tokens, because this is something that could really disrupt the recorded segment of the music industry. NFTs could bear copyright information. So who's the author, who has the right to exploit the track. And because right now this is done through publishers and labels and collective societies, and in case there are multiple authors for the same song, it could get quite confusing, and a lot of money is stuck in the system without ever getting in the hands of the author of the track. But if we package all this information into NFTs, it would be really clear who's the rightful owner of the copyright of a certain track. They would be entitled to all the payments that they get from collective societies or labels or streaming services. Plus, an extra cool thing about this is that they could sell the token along with all the exploitation rights. So if picture that you're an artist and you put out a track and you say, okay, I just want to get paid up front, and then you offer this token on the free market, and then a fan or maybe a label says, okay, this is a really good track, I believe that in a couple of years it could get a lot more money from copyrights then I would pay for it, then the artist wants for it. So let's say I'm selling my token for $1,000 or maybe for a Bitcoin, and then someone buys that token for me, and in a matter of 5 years, this track becomes a hit track, and they earn multiple of that amount just by exploiting the copyright. So this could be a really nice use case of blockchain technology, not really crypto, so more of a technology behind it. And there are a couple of companies that have already tried to do something with NFTs. It's mostly visual arts, but I personally, I think that there's a much better use case for NFTs in the music business. Thanks.